Good evening, nerds around the world. Welcome to episode 118 of the Nerds Unite as One podcast. I am Paul English, your host, and like always, we have a terrific show for you with a great panel that I'm going to introduce to you right now. We have the main crew of Colton and Mike. Gentlemen, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, everybody? As you can tell, we're doing by my introduction, we're doing a Mario-themed episode today and whatnot.
Paul, you confused me. You said we have a great crew, and then you called us gentlemen. Who the hell are you talking about?
Speak for yourself. I'm a perfect gentleman.
Except with us. Then you let loose all your raunchiness.
Are you talking about me or Colton here?
Both of you.
Okay.
All three of us. We're all gentlemen where we need to be.
Definitely.
Oh my god. Okay. As you know, today's somber day is 16th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. Rest in peace to all those who saved their lives and who lost that day and all whatnot. But life goes on, and we're going to do our best to have some fun with this episode. As Colton indicated, it is another video game interrogation episode. It's become our favorite subject, and this time we are going to be interrogating each other regarding who is quite possibly, and I will defend this argument, the face of gaming himself, Mario. We're going to be talking about our favorite, interrogating each other to find out what our favorite Mario games are and why. Y'all know the drill. We know the drill. Let's get started. Colton, what is your favorite Mario game?
All right. My favorite Mario game is, remember, I haven't played a lot of Mario games, so there's probably a bunch more great ones out there that I haven't seen, but my favorite Mario game is Super Mario World, if you can tell from this game cartridge. Super Mario World, of course, it was the first one for the Super Nintendo, wasn't it?
It was one of the first, if not the first.
It was the first.
Okay.
Yeah, glad I didn't get a fact wrong about my favorite Mario game, or I'd be pretty embarrassed right now.
Well, if you're interested in reliving your nostalgia, my friend, that game will be available upon the release of the Super Nintendo Classic. It will be one of the 21 games that will be on it.
Cool. Thanks,
Mike,
man.
what is your favorite Mario game?
Okay, I'm back. My Mario game is Deja Vu. It is Super Mario World.
I think that is a first in our interrogation episode stretch, folks. The two people who like the same item, but I'm sure they have different reasons for it, and we will find out what those are.
It's the first time the scope is so narrow.
Well, for anyone hoping for a threesome on this one, sorry. My favorite Mario game is not Super Mario World. My favorite Mario game is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door.
I'm glad we don't have a threesome, because I do not want my threesome to be with you three guys. No.
Yeah, I could not picture that. I think we'd welcome in a couple of girls here, but that's about it. All right. Let's stop. Not go that far. This is.
Let's just start the interrogation.
We're men, folks. Okay, we're men.
Rewind.
Let's jump in. Colton, you're on the hot seat. Are you ready?
Ready and something. Ready and waiting.
All right, Mike. What is your first question?
When was the first time you ever played Super Mario World?
Wow, it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I think. Let's see here. It's hard to say. I think I might have been 8, and I think I was at a friend's house the first time I ever truly played it. It was his birthday party. He had a Super Nintendo, so we all went upstairs and started playing, and I did relatively well in it. I quickly became addicted to the game. Okay, not addicted, but I really enjoyed my experience because, well, I didn't get to play console video games that often because, well, I didn't own one. I only had the Game Gear and later the Game Boy, so that was a treat for me at the time.
Okay. My first question would be, what is it about the game that you enjoy so much?
All right, so similar to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, Super Mario World, I feel like it takes, well, what I know about the its predecessors and just ramps it all up to its fullest potential, so to speak. Like we have a bunch of powers that we're all accustomed with, plus a few new ones, and it really truly feels like a world. And this game is massive, man. I mean, I'm surprised I actually finished it. Considering how long it takes to get from the beginning of the game all the way to the end. And the way the worlds just keep expanding, starting off with some pretty basic stuff at first, and then get going, and then once you get past the first level, past the first world, get to the next one, and then it's like a different game, so to speak. After that, then also having things like the Boo haunted houses and all that jazz. It's like they really wanted to make sure that this was a memorable experience with no stones unturned and featuring probably everything we've come to expect about Mario up until that point. And we also got the classic character Yoshi made his debut in this game. Can't forget about him. And he also had like 6 other siblings that we probably don't remember that often, because I don't think they really appeared in any other Mario games, or maybe Yoshi's story, I can't remember. But in this game, in addition to classic Yoshi, there were also different styles of Yoshi. Like one Yoshi was blue, and I think if he ate a shell, he could fly or something. A red Yoshi would always spit out fire whenever he ate something. I can't remember what the other Yoshis did, but I'm pretty sure it was cool. And let's see what else. And that's pretty much it. I just feel like man, I can't believe I forgot about him. And they even made an attempt to make Luigi more than just a glorified palette swap. He could slightly jump. If he jumped, he could remain in the air slightly higher than the Mario. I mean, I know that doesn't sound like much, but we have to remember that at the time, back when Mario first debuted and everything, well, like I said, Luigi was just a glorified palette swap. There was literally nothing different about him.
You mentioned those Boo mansions. I remember the music for those things. It was so appropriately eerie. Yet it wasn't like scary, but it did like, okay, there's something different. Oh yeah. All right, Mike, what is your next question?
Which level was the most frustrating for you? Because it's a Mario game, so the levels are going to be frustrating as hell.
Oh boy, this is a hard one because I have not played this game in years. But if I had to pick a frustrating level right at the bat, let me see here. So many shittily hard levels. I'd probably pick Hold that thought. I probably should have expected this question, but I don't know why. It would probably be Bowser's final castle. It's just because, well, it's the final area. The castles are all hard spots. We gotta deal with things like mazes, descending staircases, having to climb up on those gates, and having to avoid getting all the hazards and all that jazz. It was pretty much every castle up until that point, but on steroids. And of course, there's the whole classic of, hey, Yoshi makes the game. Hey, we can't use Yoshi as a glorified meat shield anymore. And I think there were like a few places where you could maybe almost get lost if you didn't pick the right areas or something like that. Kind of similar to the final castle in the original Mario game from way back when. I'm sorry if that's not like a good enough answer, but like I said, it's been a long time since I played it.
No, it's fine.
I know that the Mario games have always been well known for like having some pretty decent background music behind them, and I remember the music for this game was particularly good. Let's just from like the world maps to some of the stages. Do you find yourself still humming some of that music all these years later, Colton?
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, pretty well.
I gotta admit, I really love the music in this game. I love the music from that world. I think it's World 1, Level 4, or something like that. I love the castle theme. I love the music when we get into to all the Boo mansions. The final boss music was also great. I also love the music that plays, the title screen. It starts off at first, pretty cheery and upbeat when we're joining Peach for a picnic and everything. And then like idiots, Mario and Luigi just take off and leave her behind for no reason. And then when they come back and realize that Peach is gone, and then the music suddenly gets pretty eerie as they're like, wait a minute, where the heck is Peach? And then the camera slowly zooms out to show the entire world, and it's like, where is Peach? You have to find her in Super Mario World. It really got you pumped up to start playing the game, And I also loved the music that played in the final area of the game, in the final world of the game, where you're like we're underground, where you can see Bowser's castle in the background, and it's like dun dun. Then you hear the music and like the music like almost is in rhythm with the lightning strikes and everything. It's an appropriately ominous final world scenario. That's another thing I loved about this game is that compared to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where you go running from one stage to the next, I feel like this game, really makes you feel like this is a world by allowing you to, travel from having a stage selection, having a stage select, but rather than being, just you going to a literal stage select screen, it's a very impressive looking world map. That's another thing that I loved about this game and how it expanded on previous Mario stuff and everything. And the world selecting music was also very memorable as well. Starting off pretty, somber, I guess you could say, or it's like dun 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 dun, dun and not somber, but just pretty laid back, Dun, 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 dun. Then we travel to the next world, and it's suddenly, much kind of a dreamlike almost, because we're like gone from Yoshi's neck of the woods into a more into a higher place of existence, into the world above it and whatnot. Whoever made the music for this game deserves a standing ovation, I'd say.
Okay. Mike, did you have another question?
No, I'm good.
I can't really think of anything else either. All right, Colton, you have survived the hot seat.
Okay, well, just to throw out one more thing, if I had to pick out one other thing I loved about this game, it would be the fact that I loved how they introduced Yoshi. It was he's one of the classic staple of the Mario games and all that jazz. And even though he was a glorified meat shield, he still was good for more than just that. He could help us get to higher to reach places. I loved his gimmick of being able to just literally swallow enemies whole and all that jazz. And like I said, I loved how there was, extensions to Yoshi. I mean, granted, you had to beat the game first before you could actually use the other Yoshis, but it did give you more incentive to want to play the game again. And I don't think was there anything more to the game once you got to the star dimension?
I don't think so. There were the 8, there were the 8, was it 8 or 10? I think it was 8 or 10 of the Rainbow Road.
Rainbow Road?
Oh, wait, not the Star, there's Star World. And yeah, no, I think just beating those, it would give you something, but I can't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I only remember getting to the star dimension once, and I was there enough to use some of the Yoshis, but not all of them. It's a bit of a blur, but it's still, like I said, gave you a good incentive to want to replay the game, see what else there is to offer, among other things. And the bosses were pretty cool as well, though I will admit Bowser was kind of easy, but he was still a major improvement over the original Bowser boss fights, where you could just, if you had a fire flower, you just walk up to him, hit him a few times, bam, he's dead.
You know what? I do have one more question. I'm sorry. Colton?
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear your best Yoshi impression.
Please don't make me do that again.
Mike, you're on the hot seat now. You ready?
No.
Well, too bad. Colton, your first question is?
Our first question is, favorite level.
Favorite level. Actually, I remember there's one that's fairly close to the beginning, but it just had a lot of hills, like a lot of really like you climb to the up, you just slide down, and that was one of my favorite ones because they would always have a whole bunch of enemies on those hills, just sliding down, just knocking them all away. There's something about it that just kind of gave me a kick. Actually, and there was. I know when you like there's the start level, and then you can go either right or left. I know if you go to like the left, there are a lot of enemies that you have to take out with like the spin jump. And I don't know, but I mean they're like these like these purple dinosaur lizard things that you have to like jump on them twice. Like you jump on them once, they like accordion down, and you're like just walking around. If you do the spin jump, it just completely obliterates them in one. I don't know why, but that level just kind of like stands out to me.
I think I know what level you're talking about. I seem to recall playing that one quite a bit too. All right,
I think there were some big bullet bills in that one as well.
I remember those. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So Mike, we all got an idea what Colton loved about this game. What about you? What was it about this game that you loved so much that makes you?
Because if I hadn't played that, I probably wouldn't be playing Mass Effect Andromeda right now. That was my very first console game.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, very, very first. We got it. It was December. It was Christmas of 1991. Actually, it's me, my older brother, my older sister, and younger brother. Was he? No, he was born. We were begging our parents for the for the regular Nintendo because they just dropped down in price because the Super Nintendo had just come out.
Uh-huh.
So we were begging them for that one. We thought we had it in the bag, and then we show up Christmas morning. We go out there and hey, there's the Super Nintendo.
Oh,
that reminds me of when I got the PlayStation 3 all those years ago.
Yeah, I still remember to this day that night after we'd opened it and we were all thrilled about it. We hadn't started playing it, but that night I just walked out and we just like stood for a moment just staring at it, not believing it was real, not believing it was there. I mean that just opened up my world into console games. We'd have like the PC, but my very first computer was an Apple IIc. All right, that's how. Yeah, big 5.5-inch floppies that you put into the side and had to push the gate down to keep it from popping out. But yeah, but that was my very first console game, and just playing it, I was dazzled by like the background. It was gorgeous backgrounds.
Oh yeah,
beautifully animated. I mean, I had played the regular Nintendo at some of my friends' house, but I mean, this was just a whole nother level, and it just blew my mind the first time I saw it. I actually played it, and so yeah, the reason I love it so much is because it was my very first console game.
Yeah, got a good one.
Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
Yes, indeed. All right, Colton, do you have another question?
Yeah. All right. So while I love this game, I found the bosses to be a little lacking. I guess compared to how Nintendo hard the rest of the game was, I thought they were kind of iffy, a bit easy. What did you think of them?
I kind of agree. I mean, and when you get to like the last couple of castles and Bowser especially, those could be a bit more on the challenging side. But for the most part, most of the Bowser kids weren't that hard to get rid of. I generally had a little bit more trouble with the mini bosses in the fortresses on the way. But I mean, for how frustratingly hard some of the levels were, and I do remember which level pissed me off the most.
I'll save
it
that
was
for
one of these. Okay, all right, I won't go into it then. But I mean, the final Bowser battle. That one was difficult because you had to figure out exactly how to beat him, because you couldn't jump up high enough to hit him in his little clown car. Which, I mean, he's got a clown airship. How freaky is that? Especially with it coming out here. So, but yeah. So, I mean, up until the last few levels, I thought the final bosses were a little on the disappointing side, but it paid off in the end, I think.
All right, cool.
All right. So as Colton has mentioned, this game did feature the introduction of Yoshi, who has since become one of Mario's most famous friends. What did you think about Yoshi when you first saw him?
I was like, there's a dinosaur that I can't jump. When I jump on it, I ride him. I don't squash him. So, okay. No, I love Yoshi. I mean, the fact that I don't know what the hell was what with his shoes, but he could walk on spikes and he could walk on those little munching black piranha plants without a problem. And yeah, he could eat pretty much anything. I mean, you get into these desert levels and you have the cactus, like little multi-level cactuses wandering around, and he could eat them. I'm like, don't those spikes hurt? But yeah, whatever. There were 4 Yoshis in total. There was the regular Yoshi, there was a red Yoshi, yellow Yoshi, and blue Yoshi. The red Yoshi, yeah, whatever he ate, shut out a fireball. With the regular Yoshi, he had to eat a red shell Koopa in order to shoot a fireball. If he ate a yellow shelled Koopa, when he jumped, he could drop down and make a little minor earthquake. That's what the yellow Yoshi did all the time. Well, whenever he ate anything. And the blue Yoshi, yeah, he could. You ate something and you can fly. Which, if you were regular Yoshi, you had to eat a blue shell. Do that. But so my favorite was the blue, because flying all the time really helped avoid a lot of enemies. But yeah, I liked Yoshi. I thought he was pretty cool. He was definitely a nice addition to the your weapon repertoire. Although
I thought there were 6 Yoshis to correspond to 6 castles.
No, only 4.
Okay.
But honestly, my favorite addition to Super Mario's repertoire was the cape.
Those cape was.
I love that damn cape. That was awesome. That was cool. Being able to just
fly around,
glide down. Unless you get the super cape, then you can just fly right off the bat.
So long, suckers. Can't get me up here, can you?
And then you have flying turtles, which shit.
All right, Colton, do you have another question?
Yeah. Okay. So, what's your most frustrating level?
It was. I want to say it was the 4th Star Road level. It took me at least a week to beat this one, because there's a little ground at the beginning and a little ground at the end, but all in between there are enemies just floating around, and what you've got to do is at the start you hit this little the question mark block, and that makes a balloon pop up. You grab a balloon and Mario inflates, and that allows him to float slowly through the level. However, the balloon only lasts maybe a minute. So about 45 seconds long, the question mark block with another balloon. So you've got to do that whole level, avoiding every single enemy, because if you hit one enemy, you instantly deflate and drop and die. So you gotta grab every single balloon block, avoid every single enemy, and make it all the way to the end. And that pissed me off. And that level! Oh, I hated that level.
I'm gonna have to look that one up. It sounds like something that a sadistic person from Super Mario Maker would have made.
Yeah, I think I did eventually make it. I think I even tried it a couple times, just grabbing the blue Yoshi bringing them to that level and grabbing an enemy and just using that to fly thing. I think I might have done it that way actually, because those balloons were. I mean, even if you like made it down underneath the question mark and popped and got the balloon up before you deflated, and that was so I hated that one.
All right. All right. This is my last question, and it's the same one I wrapped up with Colton with.
I'm not going to give you a Yoshi.
Then why am I wasting? Colton, you have another question?
Yeah, but first, where the hell did Bowser's kids come from? You know, I mean, you ever seen a Queen Koopa just?
Well, he had all these.
Kidnapped Peach a whole lot of times. You have to think he might have done something with her.
No. The reason he kept kidnapping Peach is because he was lonely. His wife died. He had to leaving him with all these kids. They needed a mother. He needed companionship. He saw Peach. You know what? That is a pretty woman. I'm gonna kidnap her. Okay, his social aspects are not great, but his heart was in the right place. That damn plumber just kept ruining it, though. Damn that plumber. Although, to be fair, actually, I don't know if you're a fan of Movie Talk, Collider Movie Talk, but Mark Ellis, who's the host of that, he actually has an album, and one of my favorite bits off that one, he talks about, like, you know what? Why is the king say, you know what? My only daughter was kidnapped. You know what, Army, Navy, you stay back. Remember those guys that just fixed the toilet the other day? Let's get them. The hell?
You know, since they're a medieval kingdom, I have to wonder, do they even have toilets in the Mushroom Kingdom or anything?
I think they've got to have someone because they got pipes all over that place.
Is there even a king? I mean, have you ever seen one?
Yeah,
I've never seen a king.
Super Mario Bros. 3. The king keeps getting turned into different animals.
Oh.
Okay. I never played that one.
Okay. The entire Super Mario Bros. 3 is actually the entire thing is just to play.
Oh, right. I remember that. Now that I remember. Well, I mean, I saw a clip, so I've heard that theory.
Well, no, it's not theory. It's been confirmed by the maker because the whole thing it opens with the curtain being raised.
Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing that from a clip.
Yeah.
Mamma mia, 9.
All right, Colton. What was your last question?
My last question was that. What would you say was your favorite world in the game? Like, not your favorite level, but your favorite world.
You know what? As frustrating as it could be, there was like a world. I think it was like the third world. It had this like giant lake that you could go down and get, like there was like a secret exit. I mean, I love how you could have secret exits to a whole bunch of different levels. So you could beat it the regular way and have the regular exit, or you could beat the secret way and get like a little shortcut. And there was a shortcut through one of the haunted mansions. I think there were shortcuts through all haunted mansions that would take you to this bridge and then there was a secret on there one on the bridge that you could go down a vine into the lake. And there are a couple levels in the lake that will lead you to the back door of the castle.
Cool.
I remember that.
I'll have to look that up later.
Yeah. I desperately want to get the Super Nintendo Classic because I want to play that game again on my TV.
September.
I was talking about me. You want to play the game right now?
Mark it down your calendar.
Yeah. I'm pretty much going to be grabbing a chair and going to my local GameStop at like 5 in the morning.
Oh, that was my last question. But what, Paul?
No, Mike. If I were you, I'd probably consider going there like 10 the night before because there's going to be people lining up for that. Trust me.
I know, but I like sleep too much.
Me too, man.
I understand.
That was my last question. But before we switch from Super Mario to Mario with Paper Mario with $1,000-Year Door, I want to say that I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's this game and there's this one level in Super Mario Maker that's titled Yoshi's Revenge. And have you guys ever seen clips of it?
No.
All right, well, Yoshi's Revenge starts off with Mario getting it, riding Yoshi and having to do something that involves Yoshi. You have to sacrifice Yoshi to get to another portion of the game, and then you wind up going into a pipe and then entering a haunted mansion. The mansion is populated with hundreds of Yoshis, deploying a bunch of deadly traps in order to get revenge on Mario for all the times he's abandoned him to die.
Awesome.
To be fair, there were a couple of times where, an enemy would hit me. I would run after Yoshi trying to get him back, but he just ran off a cliff. Like, dude, I tried. That was on you.
Indeed. I think there was one time where I accidentally lost Yoshi as I was crossing the goal line, and I tried running after him, but Yoshi just kept moving.
Yeah.
But there was one time where I actually managed to somehow catch up with him. I don't know how, but I'm like, okay, thank goodness I still have Yoshi. I mean, I never deliberately abandoned Yoshi. There was only one time where I did it once by accident. It was World 1, Level 3 or something like that. It was the first level to take place in a high area or something like that. And I don't know what I did wrong, but I just wound up jumping off of Yoshi, gained a fire flower at the exact same time, and got enough air to land on the platform. So I'm like, sorry, Yoshi, no harm, no foul, right? No hard feelings, right?
And then Yoshi tosses an egg at you. Oh, yeah?
Man, I mean, Yoshi's got rapid reincarnation going down, though. Because every time he died, you pop up, next time you hit an egg, you hit one of the question mark, an egg would pop up, and Yoshi would watch. I was like, wow. Man, that was quick, dude. Nice.
I think there was I don't know if it was College Humor or not, but there was someone that made a parody of Super Mario World where Yoshi just got fed up with everything and says, "Okay, that's enough. All right, this time I ride you, okay?" And he even made Mario strip naked to complete the effect. And when they got to the desert level with that cactus-looking monster, he actually made Mario go ahead and eat it.
All right, Mike, you have survived the hot seat, which means I'm up. All right, I am ready to defend this game, so bring it on. Colton, what is your first question?
Okay, so I didn't know a whole lot about this game until, you mentioned it was going to be your choice. So I looked it up, and it's Mario as an RPG. I know that's not the first time. I know it's not the first Mario game to have RPG elements, but it's still kind of bizarre, I think.
I think the first Mario RPG was Super Mario RPG.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was.
They literally just called it Super Mario RPG.
It was Super Mario RPG, Secret of the Seven Stars, I think.
Okay, well, anyway.
That's going to be on Super Nintendo Classic.
Anyway, my question is, how do you think the game pulled off that? How do you think this game pulled off, the RPG mechanics and all that jazz? Do you think it was, pretty fun, or was it kind of standard, or what did you think?
I thought it was a blast. I mean, I love the whole thing about it, but I mean, I was trying almost any Mario game, but I thought the RPG element was handled perfectly in this game.
What was your favorite part about the RPG elements?
It wasn't really the RPG elements that got me hooked on this game. It was everything else about it. It was just the incredible story, the memorable companions you had, the boss fights that would come across. I mean, that's what drew me to the game. I didn't really give a damn about the RPG elements. I cared about, this was a really amazing game with a complex story that got you hooked into it immediately. The companions were awesome. I mean, that's what I care about when it comes to a game. And this game just had it.
Okay.
Mike, what is your first question?
What was your favorite super move that Mario could do?
Oh, geez. It has been so long since I played this game. I can't remember all of them. I was always fond of, the attacks that would, whatever power attacks would give my hammer, the most damage, or the one that would kind of ignore a target's defenses. Those I always found to be the most effective, especially when coming up against difficult bosses.
All right, cool.
Colton?
All right. My next question is, Oh no, man, I had it. I just forgot it. Oh yeah. All right. So, what do you like more about this game compared to its predecessor?
What I loved about it is that they basically everything, and I love the first Paper Mario game. I do. I love that game. The reason why I like Thousand Year Door better is they basically took everything that was great about the first game and they just upped it. It looks sharper. The animation is just more stellar. But the characters are even more memorable. What I love, it did add a historical element to it by introducing this, ancient city. And being the history buff that I am, like, oh, that instantly drew me to it. So, like, the idea of this lost civilization and whatnot, that was so exciting to me. And have this modern city built on top of it. No one knows what evil or great treasure is lying right underneath their feet. That was so enticing to me.
A modern city built over something. Sounds pretty cool. That explains why there's always a plum game.
Yeah, if you ever wind up getting a Switch, Colton, I would recommend looking for that game on Nintendo's eShop channel. I know they have some GameCube games on, and I think that's available. You really should get it.
All right. Thanks for the recommendation.
Mike, did you have another question?
Yeah. Which was your favorite companion?
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's kind of a tough one. Because there's two that I just really, really like. It's either Yoshi, because I just love his attitude. He was just so much fun to talk to. The fact that he always called you Gonzalez, I thought was amazing. But I'm also really fond of Vivian too. Despite her sisters being such total bitches, she was nice, she was caring, and I love how you got to make her name just by showing her just a little compassion. She turns her back on her family. I'm helping you. You were kind to me. So there's something about that I really like. I really sympathize with her. I'm like, I really like her.
Nice.
So it's kind of a tough call. I really couldn't choose between the two of them. I know that's kind of a cop-out, but Yoshi and Vivian were my favorites.
That's right.
And there are no cop-outs here, man.
Colton, did you have another question?
Yeah, it's an easy one, but a classic still. Your favorite level?
Oh, easy. Of Glitz and Glory. I love that. Love that level. That was chapter 3, I believe. That was, going up to this floating island arena where they mess with a wrestling match. You enter the arena, you fight your way to the top, you become the champion. Everyone loves you. But I just thought that level was so much fun. Plus, that's where you get Yoshi as a companion. I thought the final boss was fun, challenging as hell if you weren't strong enough. I think what just so much fun about it was just how the fact that the current champ, Rockhawk, was just such a total ass. Just pummeling him into the ground was so much fun to do. So that was just satisfying. But yeah, Glitz and Glory was my favorite level.
Glitz and Glory? Hold on.
God,
I'm going to quickly just look that up so I can watch it after we're finished.
But I will say that there's a very close thing, and I feel bad if I don't at least mention this. At near the end of a lot of the chapters, you have these little submissions where you can play, where one you can play as Peach, and the other actually allows you to play as Bowser. And some of them involve you playing as Bowser, going through classic Mario levels, and in what can only be described as the greatest concept in gaming history, as Bowser, you're simply expected to smash everything in sight. And you get these, racks of meat that fall to the ground whenever you hit a shining block. And if you eat enough, you grow massive and invincible. And you can just plow your way through all the blocks, all the enemies. It was such a blast.
Bowser's Revenge.
Except he's beating up his own minions, but it's so hilarious and it's so much fun.
And if I was Bowser, I'd probably eat my own minions too. If they could, if they kept constantly getting defeated by a fat Italian plumber.
But yeah, I had to mention that. But yeah, Glitz and Glory is my favorite level of that. All right. Mike, did you have another question?
Yeah, one last question. Obviously Bowser is for most of the part, Bowser is Mario's enemy. What did you think of the X-Nauts? Did you like them as enemies?
I did. A lot of the X-Nauts were kind of goofy, but they were just scary isn't the word, but they were different enough and they were menacing enough. You're like, okay, these guys are a serious threat. Lord Crump could be really funny at times, though his Magnus von Grapple robots could be a bit of a pain in the ass whenever he unleashed them. But I thought Lord Grotus was particularly challenging. Boss fight. Yeah, he was a pain in the ass, I remember. I had a hard time beating him the first time. But I did enjoy the X-Nauts. They were interesting villains. They could be a little humorous at the time, but they were just intimidating enough. Like, okay, these guys are mean business. So
Cool.
They were a very good villain. I would not mind seeing them pop up again somehow.
All right, cool.
Colton, did you have another question?
Yeah, give us your best Yoshi impression.
I don't have to. Yoshi wasn't in this game. It's not the traditional.
Oh, yes, he was.
Yeah, but he never says Yoshi all the time. He's talking. Gonzalez, what's up?
All right, see, there's your Yoshi impression.
Cop out. Okay. Turns out there are cop outs after all.
In your face.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that is going to wrap up episode 118. This is a lot of fun.
Before we wrap it up, we have to, of course, mention the game that gave us Mario in the first place, though, Donkey Kong. Without that game...
Technically, Mario was named Stanley in that one.
I thought he was named Jumpman, actually.
Oh, wait. No. I'm thinking about, was it Donkey Kong Jr.? Yeah, Donkey Kong Jr., the villain was a Mario clone named Stanley.
Okay. Excelsior!
Not Stanley. Stanley.
I know, but I still had to go there. Because you said
we know.
Yes. Enough said.
Well, I was just saying that we couldn't have a Mario gaming themed episode without, at least bringing up his first one, well, maybe his first kind of technical appearance. Still, though, classic game. It's even if it's one of those games that goes on and on forever with no ending in sight.
Yep.
But hey, that's what gaming was back then.
For all the work that Mario went through fighting a giant ape, that bitch kind of tossed him off as soon as he laid eyes on Peach, didn't he?
Yeah.
Mario.
I mean, I can't remember that other chick's name.
Daisy? No, Pauline.
Pauline,
okay.
Yeah.
That's how memorable she was.
Daisy was Super Mario Land.
Help me.
Yeah. All right. So, Colton, thank you very much for being here.
It's happy to be here. I really enjoyed this one, and look forward to what the next episode is going to be. I know it's not another interrogation episode, sadly, but I think it's Star Trek, isn't it?
Well, I'll discuss it. Mike, it was a pleasure having you here.
Yeah, always a pleasure. And just a couple more days till we record the next episode of Geek Salad. So if you want to get your list of your favorite comic book movies in, I will take them.
I forgot about that. Don't take Scott Pilgrim versus the World from me right now.
Yes.
All right. So, well, that's going to wrap our show. As Colton said, next, we're going to be taking a little bit of a break over the next 2 episodes because this year does mark the 30th anniversary of 2 iconic television shows, Star Trek Next Generation and the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show. I don't know which one we're going to do first, but our next 2 episodes are going to be devoted to talking about these iconic shows and their legacies and whatnot. So we'll keep you posted on that. Until then, we'll see you next week. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.